Super Awesome Stamper. Hello, Stampers. This is Super Awesome Stamper Shirley Merker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wisconsin, USA. I am coming to you live via the 2022-2023 Global SU Sharefair group. Happy that you're here watching live or watching on replay. Now, I am having some difficulties with my camera stand. It seems to want to just kind of slowly slip down. So I will be watching that and making sure I stay in frame. I may have to stop and readjust though. I have the Acron stand, which has these ball joints, and I have had my stand for a couple years, and I think the joints are finally wearing out a little bit. Hi Sue, she's watching live. Okay, Sue, so I'm going to, I think, adjust up a little bit. And like I said, maybe I'll just keep on moving my mat up so I'm staying in frame. Okay, so this is our first event for 2023, and we are featuring products from our annual catalog, our celebration brochure, and our mini catalog. So I chose to share a Milkshake stamp set and coordinating die set to highlight today. And part of the reason why I got this set is because I used to work at Dairy Queen long time ago, long time ago, and through high school and a little bit into college, although I transitioned to other jobs when I got to college. So, and I babysat for the owners of Dairy Queen, so worked there, made quite a few curly whips. Anyway, the reason why I got this stamp set, really the die, is for this little die. It is a waffle cone maker, and guess what? I made a chocolate waffle cone. You could say it's chocolate dipped, whatever you want, but I thought that was a unique look, or look for these waffle cone, and something you might not think of. So let's get started making this card, because my phone is on half charge, and I tried to hook it up to my computer to charge, and it wanted me to update some software, and I said, nope, can't do that because I'm going live. All right, I first stamped or punched out a decorative circle out of the mint macaron, and then let's get some other things in here. Paper piercing mat, because we're going to do some stamping right off. Let's do the inside first. Little triple hearts. And hi, Nancy and Terry. Thanks for joining live. I'm going to be watching my mat, seeing if my Acron stand is gently, ever so gently tipping that way. It looks like it is. My ball bearings might be wearing out. So real red, I'm going to stamp it 3 times, and I didn't stamp off. Kind of like that look. That is the only thing I'm stamping in real red. And this pattern paper, it's not really red. It's the Sweet Sorbet, but when you stamped off a few times, it kind of looks like that hue, the hue of the reds. All right, so that's the inside piece. And the outside pieces I've got right here. Gotta figure out what I gotta stamp. That. Scrap, this is my largest scrap I have. We are going to stamp with the mint macaron 2 of these dollops of ice cream. 1. Had a little panic attack because that looked darker, and I thought, did I clean this? Did I use it for a red? Nope, it was totally fine. It's because the stamp is stained pink. All the photopolymers, no matter what color you use, stained to pink. Pretty sure I've only used mint macaron on this, and it is stained to pink. Okay, so this, what I will do with this is, where is my paper piercing? Not paper piercing, paper snips that are uncapped. I don't know where they are. Since I'm going to put this on the big shot, we're just going to cut that off. I could have ripped it. That's going to be put on the big shot. All right, then next step is to stamp my Celebrate. Used basic gray, any kind of dark color, memento, whatever you'd like. I think I use basic gray. I have my notes. I should try the memento. I don't use memento a lot. Let's pull that out. because it dries. But let's see. I can always re-ink it real quick. Let's see if it gives a darker color than that basic gray. Oh, slightly a shade darker. Yeah. This, when you hold them together, this is the basic gray and this is the black. I think I'll probably like the black a little better now. So that's Memento. So scratch that. I didn't use the basic gray, I guess. Okay, then I think that's it for stamping and all that. I made it really simple because I wanted to highlight my chocolate waffle cone. All right, last time we had a share fair, or a time or two ago, we were supposed to demonstrate. Oh, see, the stand is tipping up, isn't it? We were supposed to demonstrate in one measurement and have the sample in the other, and that means we have a global market. So people in Australia cut things according to metric, and people in the United States cut things according to imperial. So that means our card base is a little bit different, the sizes. So on my left is the USA imperial. My right is the metric. Metric is a little more narrow and taller than the imperial. All right, so we are going to have my sample in imperial and decorate with the metric. I'm going to try to get through my sizes here. So my DSP is the full height of the card, so it's 5.5 inches for metric by 3.25 inches. So the same width applies to both cards, or can apply to both cards. See, there's a little more width here than here. The same width can apply, and it's about 8.1 centimeters by 14.9 high. This pattern paper comes from Country Lane Floral in the new spring catalog. I'm not sure why I said it like that. I think because I could tell I was going a little bit off there. Off my card. There. Okay, now the strip can be the same width and height. So mint macaron again is 1 inch by 3.25 inches, or 8.1 centimeters. Now it's just a tear taller, and I wonder if it was just a scrap. Let me check that centimeter. And I didn't notice it. Nope, that is 3. Yep, that's 3. It's just a hair taller than my sample. It's like 1 1/8. Use what you got. Your strips, a lot of times I just use whatever my strip width is. It doesn't really matter most of the time if it's slightly smaller or larger. Okay, now to save on my Country Lane Floral DSP, you could, if you've got a lot of this pattern paper, do a full piece behind your inside. I don't. I think this is all I have left of this Country Floral Lane, and all I had was strips. So I just used the strips again, whatever they were. Use whatever you have is what I'm saying. It doesn't exactly have to be what I have. 1 inch wide by 3.5 inch. Is it a little wider than I have? Hang on a second, 3.5. It's 3.25. It's the same width as the outside piece. It was probably just the pieces that were left over after I cut the larger pieces. And these again go top and bottom. And metric is 2.5 by 8. So the only thing is you got to try to line it up. Oop. And try to line it up here. All the way to the bottom. Just eyeballing left to right, top to bottom. I want it lined up in the bottom though. All the way. Pattern paper all the way to the edge. Right there. And that'll go over the top. And my inside basic white is just 1/6 of an 8.5 by 11 piece of basic white paper. So I just cut our cardstock in 6 equal pieces. The metric, you can cut your cardstock in 6 equal pieces. That way I don't have any extra scrap. And it doesn't really matter if you only have a slight border around on the inside. Usually you're not writing all the way to the edge anyway. Okay, now next is our decorative circle bunch. like that. And I am, what am I doing here? Kind of making the, there is it a symmetrical circle? I don't think, yes and no. There are bigger scallops on this, like these. There are 4 larger scallops, and in between the 4 larger scallops are 2 smaller scallops. So I'd consider that the top and bottom. I'm going to angle that because the cone is angled. And then, through the magic of television, I can show you what I did. I'll show you. You're going to cut your waffle cone out. You are going to cut and have to run through your little scoops 3 times actually, because I have a vanilla or a white one there. And then there's this little scoop top that's in the sweet sorbet. I'll bring these in. And then there's the triple heart. So triple heart, you can just take your scrap Country Lane Floral, set that on there, so you can run it through all at once. And well, you can run these all through once. You're gonna have to run it through again for the second one, and then another one for a white one. So you're not watching me running stuff through. I've already got them all cut here. I really like that triple heart because you get three, power of 3, and then they're all different sizes. So they're just a nice complement to each other. Okay, so here's my waffle cone. So it's scored. It's scored for the sides you fold in, and then it's scored to make the waffle kind of, a diamond part. I would grab your bone folder and just make sure those edges are down. Okay. Now I got 3. So this is like a pistachio nut ice cream. I was trying to think of what the flavors are, but I think pistachio nut's probably the one I would think that is this flavor. I generally go for coffee flavored ice cream when I get it, so I don't get into the funky colors. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure this bottom scoop is covered up by the waffle. And if you just set your scoop in there, it'll hit the score on either side. So that's kind of your gauge. All right, and green glue. Green glue come through. Oh, I need a new bottle. Yeah, that one's out. So let me instead grab my tape runner. Just make sure I put it the right height and it folds in. Then I put a white scoop over the top of it. Another pistachio nut. Over top that. Kind of angle them a little bit so they're kind of a little bit crazy if you want, or straight on. And then I would grab a green glue. Vanilla and mint. That's right, mint. I love mint. That's what I was thinking. I'm not sure why I thought of pistachio nut, but yeah, mint is a favorite. Nobody else in my family likes mint, so I usually probably get it once a year and it lasts a super long time. I generally can only eat ice cream in the summer though, because it's too cold in the winter. Now, where is my little watermelon? Not watermelon. Sweet sorbet. This is cherry dip. So for any of you that are Dairy Queen fans, you know that there's cherry. Well, when I worked there was butterscotch dip. I don't think there's butterscotch anymore, or at least at the Dairy Queen that I go to, which is the one that I used to work at. Chocolate dip, cherry dip, and butterscotch dip. 3 huge food service cans set in a little warming vessel. Flipped it on when you got in there in the morning. It'd be nice and melty, ready to dip by the time we're ready to open the store. All right, opaque adhesive back gems are new in the catalog. And what I like about our gems, adhesive backs, is you can take your gem to your project and decide which size you want. And it looks like I chose the largest size. And I could also tell that even though this isn't a real red, a true red, that pink, I don't like the pink. Purple, definitely not. Even though I'm purple, I didn't like the pop. I like the coordinating white. And these gems are kind of geodesic. Is that a word? They have facets. So they're not smooth. Then last is our little hearts. So, oh, I don't have any mini Stampin' Dimensionals. So I just usually rip them in half if I need them. Rip them or cut them. And here's where using the edge of the Stampin' Dimensionals. Here, we'll do it that way, just like the sample. Using the edge works really well because you can just rip those really easily. Edge right here. So let me do that. Yeah, butterscotch. There are butterscotch dilly bars. Now, the past few years, my local Dairy Queen, they don't dip their own dilly bars anymore. They buy them already. Oh, and even the Dairy Queen that in my home, in the town I live in now, their food service trucked in. Because, I know this because they come in they're wrapped in plastic. They're no longer that food service sleeve that I grew up in. And they're in a box. So Cisco does a little delivery for them, I'm sure. They miss the joys of making jelly bars before you open for the day. Rubbing the forms with the mineral oil, dolloping a little bit of ice cream out, throw it in the freezer, and then dipping. Very meditative. There. All right. So now you know why I always get the ice cream themed sets. Love them. And there's something different. I get tired of flower after flower. Flowers are pretty, but I got plenty of flowers. Don't have enough milkshakes in my life. So that is my project. I am going to do a little catalog tour. We started doing this. If we have a little time, if demonstrators want to give you a little catalog tour and show you where their products are, they're more than welcome to do that. I don't have any products from the celebration brochure, but I'm sure everybody else will. So they will hopefully show you what the products that they use. But most of the products that I use are from the mini catalog. So Country Floral Lane pattern paper. It's this pattern right here in the center that I used. The red hearts. And then the bundle that I used, Share Milkshake. Purchase it with the bundle price, so you get 10% off. But you can order individually if you want. And then the embellishments that I use are right here. So they're behind a project. They're kind of hard to see, but they're stuck right there. And then I wanted to point out all of our fabulous inks. So I had 3 inks. Well, I used 2, the Real Red and the Mint Macaron, and pulled in the Memento, but Basic Gray is here somewhere. Basic Gray is up there. So we have all of our fabulous ink lines too, in the ink colors and the other collections. So don't forget, if you need a ink pad in a certain color, hopefully we have it for you. And I think that's it. Sue loves Dairy Queen too. She's got Dairy Queen up there, I'm sure, in her state. Nancy says she loves coconut. Rose says, oh yeah, go get some dilly bars. My Dairy Queen here, well, in both towns that I go to, my original where I worked and the one I go visit now in the town that I live in, they're both closed for the season. They open up, the one here, which is southern Wisconsin, opens up early February, I'm pretty sure, but the other one's closed a little while longer. Nancy, thank you for the compliment. And yes, highlighting the fact that I had a sample in Imperial and I demonstrated in metric. So this the metric card will mail through the U.S. postal system. I'll just have to make my own envelope from a copy piece of paper or designer series paper, just making sure I don't make it too heavy or too thick to mail it with a forever stamp. Or I'll just give it to somebody when I see them, or tuck it in a little gifty. All right, that's it. Make sure you follow up with the demonstrator that invited you to this group if you have any questions about ordering or joining their teams. And Nancy is up next at 12:30 with a fabulous project. I know she mentioned it in her intro video. She's got a technique that I never heard of. So it'll be interesting to see what that technique is. Thank you everybody for watching, and make sure you check out the album in our group, which will have photos of all of our projects. And in that photo description box will be a link back to the demonstration video. So there are albums for each of our events. So if you missed any, or if you want to review one you like, they're easy to find if you can remember what the project was. All right, that's it. Carol, thanks for your compliment. Everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll stamp with you soon. Bye.